Well, as I alluded to a moment ago, whether you could hear me or not, Channel 9 Television WTVC is celebrating their 50th anniversary this week. Channel 9 signed on the air in March of 1953 as WROM-TV, licensed to Rome, Georgia. See, at that time, Chattanooga and Rome, Georgia were considered in the same market. WDEF Channel 12 signed on in 1954. Channel 3, WRGP, now WRCB, signed on in 1956. Martin Theaters of Georgia bought WROM-TV in 1957, moved the transmitter 70 miles north to Chattanooga, and Channel 9, WTVC-TV, signed on as the ABC affiliate February 11th, 1958.
Good morning, boys and girls. It's 8:30 in the morning and time to be up and around for Fun Time.
Early on, WTVC pioneered the children's educational show Fun Time with Marcia Kling, who became known as Miss Marcia and is still associated with the station.
And a very happy good morning to you, and I hope it's going to be a lovely day for you. I hope it's going to be a lovely day for everybody. I don't know whether it is or not. The sun isn't shining yet. It's so dark outside.
On Saturday nights, there was a program known as Shock Theater, a show that developed a cult following for years. The host was Tommy Reynolds, who dressed up as Dracula with the moniker Dr. Shock, alongside his irreverent sidekick, Dingbat, voiced by Dan East. Also appearing was Congressman Rip Snort, another East character. The Bob Brandy Show, which aired in the afternoons, featured cartoons and kids' activities like Set on Rebel and Toss for Silver Dollars. Brandy and his wife Ingrid hosted the program along with their horse Rebel. For a number of years, the trio traveled throughout the area doing live shows at schools as well as the TV program.
Go get it. Thank you for being with us today. Our group has been from Fife, Alabama, first grade class from the Fife Elementary School.
Boy, and that's the way it used to be on the Bob Brandy Show every afternoon. I mentioned a moment ago that Martin Theaters bought this station at first. There were several other owners. Martin sold it to Fuqua, then it was sold to Belo Corporation, and in 1982, the current owner, Freedom Communications, bought this station. WTVC broadcast from the building that was the transmitter site in the town of Walden on Signal Mountain for about 7 years, moved downtown to the Golden Gateway in 1965, and in the year 2000, as we celebrated the new millennium, we began broadcasting from this new digitally equipped building on State Highway 153 between Northgate Mall and Hamilton Place Mall. There are about 19 notable personalities, news department reporters, anchors, and all currently on staff. And when you count sales, engineering, production, and management, it brings the number of employees at WTVC to 83.
Another WTVC legend whom some of you will never forget, Tommy Reynolds, also known as Dr. Shock. When Tommy died in January of 2008 in Huntsville, Alabama, we received phone calls and emails from so many fans wanting to share their memories. Those haunting sounds were very familiar in the early 70s.
And we'd always pull out the sofa bed and we'd get popcorn and always be, you know, ready for the scary movie and watching Dr. Shock and Dingbat. We loved it.
Since it was difficult to sell old horror movies on a Saturday night, Tommy Reynolds, who was the program director at the time, came up with an idea. Tommy was a horror fan from the word go, imitating Dracula and Frankenstein. So he created a whole new persona, and Shock Theater was born. Art director Dan East created the Dingbat character, but there were other characters that followed and frequently appeared with Tommy during the commercial breaks.
I was standing there watching him tape there in the studio and smoking a cigarette, and which you could do then. And he was being all spooky, you know, and stuff. And I started blowing smoke real slowly across the lens of the camera and giving some special effects. I actually looked pretty good.
Here's something else you might not know about Tommy Reynolds.
I remember Tommy as the man who hired me in 1974. He was program director here at News Channel 9, and I was working in radio WDOD. Bill McAfee was doing sports, wanted off the 11 o'clock show so he could spend more time with his family. So Tommy called, so I started doing sports at 6 and 11, and it was thanks to Tommy or Dr. Shock, as we lovingly called him. Tommy really left an indelible impression on Chattanooga television with those characters.
What you think about that, Shock?